Hey, what's up, everyone? This is a Aurora update follow-up. So they announced it, they gave us a release date, and we're going back and looking at some of the items that I talked about in the housing. We did a video 3 or 4 days ago talking about things that are going to go up in price when Auroria announces and Auroria hits. And you'll notice that in that video, the houses were 5 gold each. Now they're already jumped up to 13 gold, and we'll go back and take a look and see there's no other houses. 13 gold is the absolute lowest right now for a house. The thatched farmhouses also took a big jump, not as big as these guys. These guys took a like 150% increase or so in price. So those were a great value to buy up when I predicted that a few days back. You'll notice here that the thatched farmhouses, again, also took a pretty big increase. They were at around 35. There's only a few of them, around 6 or 7 on there. See, we're going up, and now the cheapest thatched is 55. So thatched is 55, and then it's really a 60 because there's one there at 55. So someone buys that and goes to 60. You can see the prices on those. They jump pretty high. There are quite a few on there now. People are actually farming them, selling them, or flipping them from when they were 30, 35. The stone brick we also talked about. That hasn't seen a jump yet. It's seen a slight increase of about 1 silver, maybe 2 silver. But nothing really to write home about. Raw stone, again, probably hasn't seen an increase at all. And those things are going to see an increase when Auroria opens, because you need those to build the castle to protect the castle that you just claimed. You're also going to see that for the thatched farmhouses. People are going to actually start building again. So that will actually jump when Auroria actually opens and people start claiming land up there. But the housing designs, you see, it didn't take very long. It took like a day for the prices to jump dramatically. So that's typically something I talk about here. Is typically when a price is lowish, like the basic houses were like 5 gold, so they had a lot of room to jump, and you saw they jumped all the way up to like 13, 14, and they had a greater, possibility for an increase. Where people aren't really going to care if it's 5 to 10 to 15. They're not really going to care. Whereas when you start getting higher gold values, like in the thatched farmhouses, the thatched farmhouse didn't double. It like a 75% increase from 35 to like 55. And the reason that is because bigger values like that, they hurt more the wallet. Like if you only have like 100 gold, you can invest a lot into the little houses. You buy like 6 or 7 houses, whereas you can only buy one thatched farmhouse at that price for like if you have 100 gold. So it makes more sense to buy 5 or 6 of the small little guys because they're you can cover more ground that way, and it's just easier. And that's the same thing with like the Thunderstruck log. Thunderstruck logs went way up as well. It took a pretty big increase in the last couple days. They took probably about a 10 to 20% increase, and that was with the announcement of the farm wagon, because the farm wagon actually uses 2 of these guys. So people bought these up. They seem to be about roughly the same, actually. I've seen them as high as 15, 1600 gold. So these things, that's another part of that big gold amounts. These guys, they can grow, but you're not going to see like a 100% increase in these guys very often. You're not going to see this jump to 2600 gold right away. Whereas when it's a smaller gold value, like 5 gold or 1 gold or 2 gold, it's very, very easy to double or triple or quadruple your money there versus having a larger, investment. If you have something that's 1,000 gold and you're trying to double it to 2,000, most likely it's going to take a very dramatic event to make that value jump up that high that quickly. But something that's only 1 gold could easily jump up to 2 or 3 gold, because 3 gold is really chump change. So that's something you have to think about when you're investing in items. Is the more expensive items, they may be like a guaranteed growth. Like the Thunderstruck logs and Thunderstruck tree is pretty much a guaranteed growth item. This is going to go up in value continuously for probably the next 6 to 7 months until most players get their fishing boats, get their farm wagons, you know, because then the prices will slowly drop as most people stop needing Thunderstruck logs. But right now, everyone wants Thunderstruck logs for those items. They take a lot of them, and it's very, very rare. I heard in Korea that Thunderstruck stuff is only like 15 to 20 gold or so. It's very, very cheap, and that's because it's like a 3-year-old server, so everyone already has all the stuff that they need for Thunderstruck. So they get a Thunderstruck, it's not a really big deal anymore. And that will eventually happen here. But right now, these things are going to go up probably for the next 6-7 months, I say. So if you have gold to invest, this is a sound investment. Probably not the best investment. Again, investing in something like Apex. Apex will be growing again steadily. It's roughly around 70 right now on this server. And Apex will probably end up getting to around like 200 in 6 months or so. Because again, that's bought with real money. So as people stop buying it from the store, the value is going to go up, and then people are going to need it for their patron status. Right now, a lot of people actually don't need it because they're getting 2 or 3 months of patron status from their founder packs, and they're also getting a free month from XL Games as well. So people aren't needing that extra, credits to buy patron status yet. When people start needing patron status, which would be probably around January, February of next year, then you're going to notice that Apex prices will probably take a really, really big jump. It's going to be a steady increase, but there might be a big surge around December, January, when Apex prices probably will get up to 100, 150. Another item that is good and easy is the workers' compensation. It's a cheapish price, and whenever you can see, this is an item that will always drop whenever someone loses their account and they use their stave credit card. So you can store your credit card information and your billing information on the website on your account, and when they steal your account, they have access to that, so they can buy pretty much endless amounts of workers' compensation until the system flags them as, hey, this is something funky. No one's going to really spend $10,000 on worker compensation or credits. Something's going on here. So these guys have a chance to drop really, really low. You might remember they were around like 4 or 5 gold, and they've jumped up to 8 something right now, 825, 850 about. So these have the chance to drop low and go way back up. The real value of this is really about 1/4 of what the Apex is, because Apex gives you 1,250 credits, which means they give you 4 workers' compensation potions. So the real value is going to be roughly around like 1/4 of whatever Apex is for the workers' compensation potion. Probably a little bit cheaper, but yeah, so these are a great value. Even 8, you can stockpile on these guys, and they will go up to 12, 15. I mean, it's given. And some of the other servers, they are already 12 and 15 before the big credit card fraud crisis. And the cool thing is, I don't know if I mentioned this, but when Tryon banned those credit card fraud stolen accounts, they actually took all the items off the auction house. So that's why in one day you saw a huge surge. It went from like 4 gold, 5 gold, and then jumped up to like 7 or 8 or whatever. It was a crazy surge. And you can make a lot of money by investing when there's that kind of credit card fraud going on, buying the cheap marketplace items and then selling them, in a week or so once Tryon catches up and clears them. Because they've been doing actually a pretty good job of banning people, from my observations. There still are bots out there and everything, but yeah, they've done a pretty good job because it's not going to be instantaneous. No company is ever instantaneous on banning. So, surprisingly, they've done a pretty fast turnaround now, so things may be looking up. Hopefully, when Auroria opens up, things are looking a lot better.